Good morning, everybody, and this is your Forex day trade setups for today. So starting off with Euro USD as usual, and we have a pretty clear flag forming here. There it is there. So strong move off, flag, bit of a crossover brewing. We're in amongst the moving averages at the moment. Oscillators starting to separate. So I do suspect if you're getting a break and retest of this area here at 107131, you have a few options. First one is the gap, and then the second one would be this move here. Now, I would prefer this pullback to be a little bit higher than this, but anyway, that would take us all the way down to this area here. Now, I just want to check the weekly quickly because this is quite important, and you can see we had that weekly rejection and got a grouping of all the oscillators to the upside. So this is definitely looking like follow through on the weekly. So it does mean that this move to the downside could very well materialize. So that doesn't bode very well for the indexes, but nevertheless, that is what it is. So for me at the moment, it is sideways when you look at it on the hour. So I would want to see a break and retest of this before getting involved here. So 107131, I want to see a break, I want to see a retest, and then we're looking for a bigger move to the downside. I think it would be well worth a small position. I don't know what kind of risk you're putting in here. 1,100 points is fairly large risk, so it's going to be a very small position. You can basically add to that position as it moves through the different bits of structure. But this would be your first target to close that gap, 106,430. So moral of the story is if you're on the 15-minute here, it's quite simple. Watch your structure on the 15-minute. You probably see a pullback onto one of these swing lows here, a rejection there. It'll give you an opportunity to get in. Tight stop loss, that's 150-point stop loss, but better than waiting for the flag break. Breaks the flag, comes back and tests, that gives you another option to get in. Then you're aiming for the gap first. So realistically, if you get in something like that, let's call it a 200-point stop loss, you could end up with an 800-point gain. So anyway, so that's one thing to watch out for today is definitely a pullback, rejection, and then short. Moving on to US dollar Japanese yen, converse is obviously true here. It does look like we found support here at the moment. So moving up to the hour, you can see it's in and amongst the moving averages right now, so I'm not entirely comfortable with it, but nevertheless, that is the first area that we do have, and I'm just going to move one of these up here as well. There's another area right in here which would be an interesting one to see. So 131,237, if you find some support there, could very well be a move to the upside. Now, the challenge is the trend is up overall. Okay, we've been coming down on the weekly. So if you look at the 8-hour, again, you can see we've been on this downward trend, but it does look like a bit of a rounding bottom forming. And we do have a higher high, and it does look like a higher low forming. So very strong possibility with the crossover here. So this is really looking interesting that the dollar is looking to strengthen. So that's kind of my view here. If we can get onto some support and we start getting decent support, it's going to be well worth a punt on this just to see if we can continue to the upside. And basically, you're looking for a move equal to this move up from the bottom here. Moving on to pound, British pound, Japanese yen. Nothing really materializing here. We're still consolidating here in the middle of nowhere. Excuse me. And we do have a two double spinning top here. Typically when you see two spinning tops, sometimes there's a third one and then it sort of falls. So it's normally a bit of a topping pattern. So pay very close attention to that through the day. At the moment on the hour, oscillators are easing off. We've got tails all over the place yesterday, so nothing really to write home about, but we are above the moving averages here. So there is merit on the lower time frame that this is a move to the upside that is brewing, and I just don't have much structure here, so that's probably the closest we've got, but I don't like what I'm seeing here. So this one to me, I think I'll just sit on the side. It's not even going to bother with that. Moving on to Euro British pound, and I've been waiting for a pullback off some structure, and we keep just barreling through the structure. You can see here's another one. So I don't trust that inside bar. I'm going to, let's just rephrase that. So I wouldn't trade off the one. We're below that level, so I would look for a second signal. We do have a crossover here brewing, and we've separated. So this does look like a half decent flag. This is the 61.8, so we're just below the 61.8. So everything is indicating that there is potentially a move higher. But if we look at the lower time frames, this is indicating a rejection off here at 0.88715. So conflicting signals here, and I'm going to go with the current trend, but this is not worth the trade because I'm going to expect a move off here. You're probably going to end up with a 100-point stop loss. You're coming back on this level for 150 points. So that's kind of what I'm expecting to happen today. And then you're probably going to just muck around in this area, or we are basically looking for another bit of support, but there it is already. It's already in. And if you look to the left, you can see that there. So I'm looking for a second signal. I'm looking for a second signal to match what is going on here on the 8 hour. Okay, so this is indicating that we are looking for some kind of move to the upside, and there's our trend line. So it could fall a little bit more, but I am sitting quietly here. I think Euro USD and USD Japanese yen are probably the two that I would be paying attention today. I think the pound is a little bit all over the place. There is merit for a short here. I'm not interested in really taking it because of what I'm seeing on the 8 hour, but it might actually be the wise decision. So it could be a case of risk 120 points for at least 200 points gain, possibly 400 points gain. And that's kind of what I'm seeing at the moment. But anyway, I think I'd rather just sit on the sides. There's too much confusion. Anyway, that's it for me this week. It has been a torrid week, but it's also been a week where everything is all over the place. But you do get them. That is what happens. So often it just means sit quietly, don't jump in, don't waste your money, don't frustrate yourself, and wait for better days. Anyway, that's pretty much what I'll be doing. Hope it helps, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.